जय हिंद, जय भारत एंड वेलकम टू डेफ टॉक्स। हमारे साथ हैं संडे नाइट ऑब्वियसली कौन है, राजा जी हु विल टेल अस। भाई मैंने तो सुना भाई अभी तो नई नई गवर्नमेंट आई है, बट मैंने सुना भाई ऑलरेडी झगड़े झगड़े शुरू हो गए हैं यहाँ पर। तो भाई 2-3 महीने तो चलने दो राजा साहब, क्या है यार इतनी जल्दी। बेचारा बांग्लादेश। नमस्कार
You
सर।
have the left and the right. Namaskar, sir. Thank you for having me again. You have the left and the right sitting on the same bench. What will happen? The imbalance will happen. What is happening? It's sorry. I think my screen went off.
नो प्रॉब्लम।
So that's basically that is what is happening. They will have a problem. Anyway, it is a very. If you look at the board, I was looking at the members who are there. No, most of them are the left ones who have been. Yeah, एक general है, yeah, brigadier general retired है. He was with the US Staff College and all that. Train करके आया है. Then you have couple of NGO वालाs. You have one person who was working with USAID, and UN के साथ करके आया है. Then you have that Mohammed Hussain something वो Hifazat Islam ka, which is a far right Deobandi cleric, right? So you have all these people. They just try to put it all together, a balance of both from here and there, Jamaat Islami and that. Mess to hoga. The mess is going to be there. This reminds me of Pakistan after Jinnah died. The way politics shaped up in Pakistan and the way Pakistan shaped up after death of Jinnah, this is reminding me exactly of the same situation. Because what they are doing is the way they are trying to wipe out the legacy of Mujibur Rahman. So somewhere that tells you that they want to create a new clean state, and Bangladesh never had a very vibrant opposition. There is a huge political vacuum there. So who will grab this vacuum? On the ground, the radicalization is high. Jamaat Islami has an influence. The other party, BNP, Khaleda Hossain ki jo hai, she's also been on the right hand side of it. The Americans have infused the left Muslim Brotherhood lobby for their own self. Most of the guys belong to that lobby. So obviously there will be a power struggle, and this is heading a Pakistan way. So I don't think this government will survive. जो लियाकत अली खान के साथ हुआ था, मुझे लगता है मोहम्मद यूनुस के साथ भी वही होगा. Because it's not going to be very easy for him to deliver the things they wanted to deliver. And more chaos is what I expect from Bangladesh going forward.
Are you
It's going to
trying
be
to
very,
tell
very
me?
chaotic.
Are you trying to tell me कि भाई पाकिस्तान लिटिल सेंस में दो पाकिस्तान बनने वाले, एक तरफ से तो जोक मार मार के थक गए हैं, दूसरी तरफ से भी मारने पड़ेंगे।
No, seriously, I'm telling you this. If you look at it very seriously, if you look at the way Bangladesh is now,
Yeah,
it politically it looks like Pakistan to me, the new Pakistan,
that's what I'm
right?
saying.
Because you don't have a strong opposition leader who can control the masses, who's famous among the masses. You have Muhammad Yunus on one side, which is from the left cabal, right? You have an Islamist force sitting within the country, which has been radicalized and hold this moment. And the whole idea of cleaning off the legacy of Mujibur Rahman and breaking his whatever they're doing, they basically want to clean the slate. They want to say that he's not a founding father. So they want to go back to their Islamic roots. So then you have an evident clash going to happen. And that evident clash is going to look exactly like what we saw in Pakistan between 1940, 1953 and onwards.
Till
So every
57.
general which will come, yeah, till about 62, I would say,
Hmm.
right? Because then it will give the generals the power to look. There will be soft models. The general might not take control directly, but he will be installing one puppet after another puppet, and these puppets will keep on changing. So this is looking very Pakistan to me. So
You
politics
know,
of Bangladesh is emerging like a Pakistani politics to me.
मेरे को जो सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम दिख रही है, ठीक है, जो मैं बताता हूँ, बिकॉज यहाँ पर आई फाइंड देम टू बी स्टम्प्ड एंड इन लोगों ने बाकी सब जो पब्लिक प्रोजेक्शन करा है, एम्बेसडर से मिल लिया, ये कर लिया, वो कर लिया, वो सब कर लिया इन लोगों ने, फेयर इनफ। बट द वन प्लेस इनका एंड वहां पर इनका जो ये वो था ना, व्हाट डू यू कॉल द होल persona, इसका जो यूनिस का वेरी वीक, वो नहीं आई अपील फॉर पीस एंड दिस एंड दैट, वो थोड़ा वीकनेस शो करा उसने वहां पर। सेकेंडली, द प्रॉब्लम दैट आई सी इज देयर आर थ्री फैक्शंस ऑफ इस्लामिस्ट इन दैट प्लेस, ठीक है।
हम्म,
एक faction को इसने गवर्नमेंट में ले लिया है, एक जो बाकी दो फैक्शंस हैं अभी जमात के ही हैं वो सारे, और एक जो एक्सट्रीम फैक्शन है विच इज द आइसिस सॉर्ट ऑफ अ फैक्शन विच इज हार्ड लाइन एकदम। वहां पर आप हाउ विल यू सेटिस्फाई दीज गाइस, क्योंकि ये भी तो थे प्रोटेस्ट के अंदर, आपने इन सबको हेल्प लिया है।
सी अभी तो इसने जो फार राइट है, हिफाजत इस्लाम का जो लीडर था मोहम्मद हुसैन समथिंग उसका नाम है, उसको इसने ऑन बोर्ड लिया है। बट द प्रॉब्लम इज जमात इस्लामी को भी इसने ऑन बोर्ड नहीं लिया है कहीं पे, राइट?
हम्म
So there is going to be a problem. The reason behind that is because Deobandis they can control. They think they can control, and Deobandis have a larger stake. This is where the Taliban model, the Muslim Brotherhood model comes into picture. But the problem with the Jamaat Islami is that the Americans don't trust enough. Americans don't trust these mullahs. They've dealt with them in Pakistan. They know exactly how they work. They don't want to create another, they would not want to repeat the mistakes they repeated in Pakistan. They're creating another Pakistan, but sans the mistakes they did in Pakistan, right? So that is why you have not seen them. That is why I'm saying that, one step here or there, one wrong step, one miscalculation, this whole government is going to be very, very weak. And how is he going to rein in the Islamists who are, carrying out arson against the minorities? He's given a token statement. That statement doesn't make anything, hold value, because we are seeing what is happening in Bangladesh.
पुलिस
But
तो है ही नहीं,
for how long?
there is no police.
Police hai nahi, the army is not there. The army is letting rioters do what they want to do. On the contrary, anybody who's trying to oppose the army is going very hard against them. So the army is aiding them for now to, establish control. So that statement doesn't stand anywhere. It's more for the international press and showing that, you're a liberal Muslim. It's not going to work. On the ground, the things are very different. So regardless of how long this government is going to be there, or, the stability, I don't see stability is going to come. And the second thing, then this is an interim government, right? कभी ना कभी तो election कराने पड़ेंगे ना. Then what happens? Because then the power vacuum which is there, how does that get filled up? Who are the players who are going to come in? The Yunus is not going to make another political party and expect that his political party is going to clean, landslide से जीतेगा, वो तो होगा नहीं. Man has his own age as well. And very interesting, मैं देख रहा था कि इसका एक एंटी करप्शन ब्यूरो का इसका चार्जशीट था जो आज जैसे पाकिस्तान में होता है कि द मोमेंट यू कम इनटू पावर उसको हटा दिया जाता है, तो वही सेम थिंग दे हैव डन विद हिम आल्सो. दे जस्ट टेकन दैट अवे, quash that whole thing. So that tells you the very early signs of where this is going to go.
अभी तो
There's a lot of
सुप्रीम
flux. अभी तो बहुत ज्यादा flux है.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जज को आपको निकालना था टू डू दिस, सो यू रिमूव द जज एंड यू गॉट इट डन.
हाँ तो वही है, because it's a street power which is ruling roost right now. So कल को इनको किसी और को निकालना होगा, they'll do exactly the same. Create this whole hooliganism on the streets, and they will get, it's basically muscle power, the crowd power, what we call is the hooligan power on the street. So things are very much in the flux in Bangladesh right now. It's going to take some time for this dust to settle down of what is happening, and then a clearer picture will emerge. But what will be interesting to see is that for how long are these guys going to hold on to these interim governments? And will Bangladesh look at because at the end of the day democracy खतरे में है ना. It's a democratic country. Election होता है, तो कितनी देर तक आप इसको without election चलाओ? So where will that narrative also fix in the global stage? What happens to democracy then?
Interesting, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं there is also another game to this entire thing is when you kind of look at the factions within Bangladesh. If anybody thinks कि भाई अवामी लीग खत्म हो गई है, I don't buy it. ठीक है, अवामी लीग is still very much relevant and उसके workers हैं and they are right now at the back foot because everybody is on the front foot. ठीक है, जब ये क्या हुआ भाई? अच्छा, oh sorry, my thumb came out, so
Yeah, that's your thumbs up.
हाँ,
Yeah.
so they are on the back foot because everybody else is on the front foot. कभी तो front foot पे आएंगे वो भी, ठीक है? तो they are not a
I don't see
down and
them
out
coming
force.
on the front foot.
अपने आप को प्रोटेक्ट तो
I
करेंगे,
don't see them coming on the front foot.
प्रोटेक्ट
They
तो
are trying
करेंगे,
to protect themselves as of now.
ठीक है?
So
So
they are trying
they
to
will,
protect themselves. Most of them
हम
will try to
what
protect
they will do.
themselves, or it's the same like we have seen in Pakistan. PML will go to
The
PPP,
second point
PPP
is,
will go to PTI. The same
हाँ,
thing will happen.
the second point is पाकिस्तानी आर्मी स्टिल इज थोड़ा सा यूनिफाइड सा स्ट्रक्चर है, वहां पर म्यूटनी जो हुई है वो कम ही हुई है। एक अभी जनरल को निकाला था ये वो ऑल दैट, बट कम ही हुई है। दैट्स नॉट द केस विद बांग्लादेश। बांग्लादेश में तो म्यूटनी ही होती है। they've always gone against the commanding officer's orders. They've always done that. ये जो जितने भी कू के ऊपर काउंटर कू होते हैं, ये तो वही है। So there is a problem there also, and I'm sure Hasina ruled for 15 years यार, उसके भी तो बंदे होंगे सारे वहां पर आर्मी में।
तभी वही मैं कह रहा हूँ ना कि you will have a problem. You will have this is emerging like a Pakistan.
गुट
This is
बनेगी।
emerging like exactly like a Pakistani situation. So, but yeah, the army, you can buy generals off. Everybody's up for sale. So who buys who's off and who stays there and how many, buy one person off? It all depends on the equation. That is why I'm saying it's a flux. The situation has to settle down. We'll get a clearer picture in next 1 month to 2 months of what is happening. I don't see the dust settling for another 3 months in Bangladesh because the Islamists are out with a motive. They are not going to sit back and relax and say, okay, theek ho gaya. Now Bangladesh will operate very naturally and let the country run. They are going to create their own mess because they want to come into power. They might start pushing for elections. You never know. Anything could happen. So from one thing to another thing, this thing settling down can take 1, 2, 3 months or maybe longer. It can destabilize further also.
दूसरा, fair enough. Let's take that point and let's run that forward. थोड़ा सा war gaming करते हैं. Let's see how we can थोड़ा सा आगे लेके जाते हैं इसको. Let's talk 6 months out without an election. 6 months out. How do you see revival of an economy? Because यार हो गया अभी 1.5 महीना हो गया, तुम्हारी इकोनॉमी सब कुछ बंद पड़ा है। पैसे कहाँ से बनाओगे?
If they're Uncle Sam, the Great, if they're able to survive for 6 months without an election and they're able to, stabilize Bangladesh where no street protests are happening, no Islamists are writing, no minorities are getting, butchered on the streets, then that means that they have established control in Bangladesh. They will take it forward. But I don't see that happening. That's the point. They might survive next 6 months without election, but it's not going to be that they will not be able to stabilize Bangladesh because there are so many powers in play in Bangladesh.
You're food insufficient. आपके पास खाना नहीं है, आपके पास एनर्जी नहीं है, आपके पास बिजली नहीं है, आपके पास मछली पकड़ लोगे,
हाँ, तो अब कुछ भी नहीं है। हाँ, वही मैं कह रहा हूँ ना कि अगर ये स्टेबलाइज कर जाते हैं, that they're able to do all these things in 6 months and we see Bangladesh getting exactly back to normal, that everybody is living off a peaceful life, relatively peaceful life, nobody is being touched, then Uncle Sam will take care of them. They'll give them enough business, enough dollars to survive. But I don't see that happening for next 6 months. I don't see this government being able to stabilize Bangladesh to an extent where they will be able to run. That is why I'm saying it's going to go to Pakistan, and every general or everybody who's going to come into power is going to say to Uncle Sam, give me the money and I'll fix it. This is exactly why I'm saying it's going to Pakistani way.
But Uncle Sam तो ठीक है, Uncle Trump आ गया तो क्या होगा?
See, अगर Uncle Trump भी आता है तो I don't think there will be much of a difference, to be very honest. Because Trump also has to look at China. We know how he's very hard on China. So Trump will also look at this as an opportunity. So Trump, I don't think, Trump would say, create a new Pakistan, sans all the mistakes we have done and finish off the existing Pakistan once and for all. the old one. I don't mind creating a new one and finishing one the old one, but finish the old one sooner. That can happen, right? But I don't see that if Trump comes back, there is any chance that Hasina will be back or something of
No,
that
no.
sort will happen. No, that won't happen.
Hmm.
Nothing of
Her
that sort
son,
is going to happen.
her son put out.
The American policy. No, I don't think so. I really don't think so.
But it's a great opportunity for info war.
It's already on.
Anyways, let's change the topic. अभी आप थोड़ा सा let's talk about another little thing. देखिए जो भी है, China is seething right now. China has not said anything. कुछ भी नहीं बोला. उसने एक statement आया था. We hope they stabilize. That's it. It's like they've said दूर फिटे मुंह. I mean, you go. I don't care anymore. They've kind of washed their hands off because there's not been a single uh, statement, ये वो nothing. एक statement आया था बस, that's it. They've not said anything after that. So
No,
that
that's
they've
how the
gone back.
Chinese operate.
हाँ, they've gone back to the drawing board. सोच रहे हैं भाई ये क्या, what is this, what do we do, करना क्या है, what, how to kind of figure this out. यहाँ पर now there is an opportunity, there is a gap. ठीक है, geography does support us, right? As far as dependency of trade and all that is concerned, at the end of it, America भी ठीक है, if we kind of start taking that a little bit further, I don't think America will have a problem with that because यार डेमोक्रेसी वो इतना तो हो ही जाता है.
Mhm.
तो what do you say to that?
See, business-wise, India has a huge opportunity, but we have to be very, very careful. This is what I'm saying. You have Pakistan 2.0 coming in your neighborhood. Do not do the same mistakes which we did from 47 with the Pakistan 1.0,
Hmm.
right? By believing that, Bhutto aa gaya, so we'll be better. That Falana Nawaz Sharif aa gaya, we'll be better. We have to be very, very careful. From day one, we don't give any economic pipeline to the Bangladeshis to survive. If we can
Yeah,
take away that from them and we can take away the business, we should do it now.
that's
I
happening.
hope we have learned enough. Yeah,
That's
so I
happening.
hope we have learned enough lessons. We have learned our lessons from Pakistan 1.0 to implement it in Pakistan 2.0, which is
That's
Bangladesh.
happening. Business तो खत्म हो गया उनका.
So if that
Because
is happening, that is good. Second thing, I think we have to be very, very, pointed and careful about is the minorities who are in Bangladesh.
yeah,
We cannot let them to at the mercy of these murderous mobs in Bangladesh for next 20, 30 years. One thing we have to learn what they did to minorities in Pakistan, we cannot let that happen to the minorities in Bangladesh. That will be a very big injustice to the people, to our own people there. So we have to look at how we can secure them. If we have to give them visas, if we have to get them out, we should actively be getting people who want to be out of Bangladesh to come out of Bangladesh.
वो तो
We
आपका
cannot leave
ये
them.
भी CA amend हो गया ना.
So we cannot leave them at the mercy of the Bangladeshi government and try to have ties and talk it out of it. We have to learn from Pakistan 1.0. So these two things are very, very important. Third, I think we need to really ramp up our borders with Bangladesh and make it much more tighter than what we currently have. We'll have to come up with much tighter control on our borders. That is the first thing we need to do. We have seen it. They were trying to come in. 500,000 बैठे हुए थे एक जगह, फिर दूसरी जगह से they tried to come in, right? That is one thing we have to stop. We have to take this threat very, very seriously. And if we are able to do these three things, I think we are in a very good position then to deal with them. Because we have dealt with version 1, we know how to deal with version 2. It will be far more easier to deal with them.
That's a good
Because
point.
Chinese, and also the Chinese are not going to sit quiet, no.
हाँ, they will find a gap. वो भी ढूंढेंगे, हम भी ढूंढ रहे हैं. Let's face
No,
it.
the
Every
gap,
country will do it. That's a
the Chinese will play the Arakan. So now watch out for the Arakan region.
हाँ
It will
वो है.
flare up and it will flare up like anything.
That's something that we need to kind of figure out. दूसरा, let's get on to a little bit of internal semantics with the people and all that. क्योंकि देखो जो भी है, the radicalization is high. There's no question. my main concern, as you and I both are, focused on that quite a bit. हम लोग पाकिस्तान के बारे में काफी बात करते हैं, radicalization कहाँ जा रही है, कौन से ग्रुप्स हैं, क्या है, क्या नहीं है. आइसिस, राइट? मैंने आपको एक फोटो भी दिखाई. आई विल सेंड यू द वीडियो दैट एज सून एज आई फाइंड इट. बट कहीं ना कहीं आइसिस, the emergence of ISIS is quite a possibility in this area.
ISIS has been in Bangladesh. If you remember that Dhaka coffee, was it in a coffee shop or in a hotel that ISIS attack which happened? 2000, when was this? I think it was 2007 or 2008. It was when Hasina was in power, right? Since that time, ISIS has been there. And if you remember, I've been constantly saying that this AQIS and all these modules are operating out of Bangladesh more than they are operating out of, Pakistan or Afghanistan. So, but ISIS will have a problem in Bangladesh because the Deobandis will not let them settle.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, the Deobandis are also asking for Sharia. There is a big chunk of population who are looking at Sharia laws in Bangladesh, or looking at the Islamic laws, because that's what they want Bangladesh to go back to be an Islamic country. Right? So we are going to have this problem.
Except for Hindu temples, no other place will have the statues and everything.
And over the years, these terror organizations have been actively, if you look at their narco way, the narco, you can say, trade. They have been trading from Myanmar through the Rohingyas, and they have been trading for Bangladesh as well. So they are very much present in Bangladesh. And this whole Arakan region is what I am now fearing is going to flare up in the Islamic this thing. If you look at the activity of ARSA after the fall of Bangladesh, their activity has picked up exceptionally on social media.
Yeah.
Kafi higher. The intensity has become high, right? So this is going to be a problem. And this is a problem we have to deal with. This is why I said, this is why I've always been saying that keep a very, very close eye on Bangladesh. That's where the next threat emerges from, not from the Pakistanis. Because Pakistan is a bujta diya, and this is the diya which has just started, lightening up. So we have to be extremely careful. And if they have ISIS within, the first thing is they are going to start a civil war within. So that's even more bad news for the Bangladeshis.
Yep.
Right. So if these groups start so if these groups are coming out on the street, then obviously what is going to happen is inevitably the clash is going to be there. So Bangladesh security forces have their hands cut out, because now they will be dealing with this kind of insurgency, and then they will be dealing with these clashes, and they will be dealing with political instability. They are going to deal with a lot of stuff. It's like 2.0 is also a version, no? It's an internet version the Pakistanis have given. So that is why I say it is Pakistan 2.0, because it comes with all those ready-made problems which Pakistan created in its 0.1 version, which is these radical terrorist groups. So they have also birthed along with the 2.0 version. They are there in the system. So it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very, very tough.
Let's talk India's game. Because kahin na kahin there is wild theory, but let's take your thoughts on it. You look at the situation with India. Ceasefire violation starts. Ceasefire to nahi, matlab whatever. This terrorism nonsense starts. They start hitting. The online propaganda is very to the extreme. Okay, and guys, hear me out. Okay, this is something I've just been thinking since the afternoon. एक तरफ आप पे जम्मू कश्मीर में अटैक होना शुरू होते हैं, ठीक है? जम्मू न्यू एरिया, ये वो, it's a different sort of an attack, that whole thing, we've discussed all that. Online narrative is on an extreme, literally. There are new accounts which are, putting that out. Oh, this, that, government is weak, ये वो, सब कुछ हो रहा है वो. That whole thing is happening. The push towards kuch karo towards Pakistan. While all this was happening in Bangladesh, यहाँ पर आप एक एक्टिव फ्रंट और खुला रहे हो. You've got China, and then you're also opening up another bloody game at Bangladesh. This was a recipe for disaster if you would have done Pakistan.
Absolutely. What would you have done with Pakistan? The
जो मर्जी छोटा
only
मर्जी
thing you can do
एक्टिवेशन
with
होता तो थोड़ी टेंशन हो जाती,
the
थोड़ी
only thing you
डिप्लॉयमेंट
can do is
अपॉर्चुनिटी होती.
the only thing which can happen with Pakistan is you can break the ceasefire agreement, right?
Yeah.
That is the only escalation you can do. Nothing beyond it, because that gives Pakistan the weapon to weaponize itself again, the excuse to weaponize itself.
Yeah.
Number one.
कुछ ना कुछ whatever
Number two.
build up of tensions. Right now the tensions are status quo.
See, if you remember before the elections also, we had a discussion on this, and I told you that the first thing they are going to get onto this government is the national security. This government is going to face challenges when it comes to national security. That is where they have to be extremely, extremely tight, and that is why your proactive steps are very, very important.
Yep.
That is why I put emphasis on create homeland security. World over, it's a phenomena. You get your illegals, you put them. यार अंडमान के बाद बहुत आइलैंड है, पकड़ के डाल दो उनको, करो वहां से केस प्रोसेसिंग के. No, like US does it, Australia does it, New Zealand does it, every country in the world does it. Why can't we do it? Why is it that we are not supposed to do it, but any democracy in the world was doing it when they wanted to do it, right? When their immigration policy was like that. We can do the same. We are not saying we're going to throw you out, we're going to put you in a dungeon. We'll process your case on your merit. If your cases are processed, if you're granted a visa, you'll come in. If you're not, you'll be deported. That is what every sane country, that is what Trump is going to do essentially when he's going to come.
Yeah.
That is the first thing he will do.
Honestly, if Trump comes in, it'll be very easy to do it all over the world after that.
Yeah, I'm just saying that. But regardless of whether Trump comes in or whether Trump doesn't come in, I mean, it's not that we have to look at Trump and we have to look at America. If only America does it, then we can do it. We have our own interests and our own national security at stake. Americans have been doing it for a very long time. Australians have been doing it for a very long time, right? So what stops us from doing the same thing? So I think that is one very, very, very important thing which you have to do. Second thing is this rhetoric is going to go higher and higher. They are going to target this government on the national security issues. And the problem is that, all it takes is one incident to happen in mainland India for you to say that you screwed up inside, you screwed up outside, you screwed up the borders, you are weak, you cannot do anything. Right? That is the kind of situation the government really needs to avoid. And for that, they have to be very, very proactive.
That's very true. There is no question about that, but I'm glad we need to be. I think in the entire game, we need to be a little cautious.
You have to be cautious.
We need to be a little cautious. We need to be a little थोड़ा सा सोच समझ के काम लेना पड़ेगा, because कहीं ना कहीं आप देखो, if you take a step off here and there, it's going to have ramifications. So
we have to be extremely cautious, because even a slight overplay of the hand is going to generate a response. Yeah. And the response can come both from the Americans and the Chinese. So it's not a very rosy picture.
Apart from that,
so you have to be very, very calculated.
Yeah. If it comes to worst comes to worst, sorry, मैं बोल रहा हूँ worst comes to worst. साला रात में round up करो, भैंसियाँ load them in a train, night time start throwing them inside Bangladesh. Simple.
No, even if you cannot throw them inside Bangladesh, I think you start preparing your national security in a way where illegal immigrants cannot come to India and can live in India freely. They cannot just cross the border and come. You catch them. You want to come in? Okay, come in. You're locked up. Lock them up. And those who we don't want, then you put them on the train and send them back, saying that, obviously with the government saying that these are your illegals, take them back. And there's a cost associated to that.
Yeah, you should.
So so the Bangladeshis will also feel the cost of that, people who are going back or being sent back. And same with the Rohingyas. But you have to do it, and you have to do it now. You can't wait another 5 years, 6 years, 7 years for this problem to compound. And there is no politics into it. There is no. There is no political votes into it, because the problem is often at times this is a very few times I criticize the governments, is that sometimes they look at the national security and they look at the internal politics as well, and they try to marry the two,
Hmm.
and that should not happen. There has to be a very very clear line that this is not acceptable regardless. No politics on it. It's not gonna. It might get you votes, but it's not gonna make your country safe.
Yeah,
So
there's no question.
country first. Sir.
Because I mean, I've taken a hard line. As a matter of fact, मैं तो मैप शैप भी बना दिया. आपने देखा मेरा मैप? नहीं देखा?
I did.
देखा? हाँ, मैं तो
हाँ,
मैप शैप
देखा,
भी बना
देखा.
दिया. ये जगह चाहिए भैया, खत्म करो कहानी. I am my mind goes haywire when something like this happens. You have to use the nuclear option. Start preparing for it. 3-5 साल चुप रहो.
No,
One
I don't
fine day.
think.
One
No,
fine
I
day.
don't think nuclear is an option.
नहीं,
I
nuclear
don't think
option,
nuclear
not
is an
the
option.
नहीं, nuclear option. It's like the hard option,
Acha,
not
nuclear.
the nuclear option.
But you don't want to
No,
confuse the audience.
okay. I mean, that's like the big option, the big game. Go and bloody cut the damn
The
thing
big
open
slate.
and simple straight, yaar.
You have to
Khatam
be. You have to be careful. You have to be
and
very very careful of playing any hand right now.
trust you me, when you look at the situation, the sheer factor two Rafales, bloody put them all down. The threat of two Rafales being around in that area, calm down quietly. Hasina goes. That is a big achievement, huh? Looking at our history. मुजीबर को हम लोग नहीं निकाल पाए. ठीक है, he got killed. In spite of the
He
fact
never wanted to come out. No,
he never wanted to
we
come out,
gave him
but
the warning.
we
He never
did
wanted to come out.
twice. We gave him the warning.
Yeah.
But if you see Najibullah also, we lost the guy. Okay, so यहाँ पर if we've been able to retrieve her, it's a big achievement.
It's a big achievement. We've grown our shoes, so that's a good thing. It's a big achievement.
That tells you network आपने बना के रखा है, and you've been able to use that network, pressurize them, and get what you want out. ठीक है, तुम अपने देश में जो मर्जी करो, but
no, today this tells you that you have some geopolitical heft standing with the Western powers today, and you can extract what you want to extract.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a good thing. That tells you that you have grown in your stature. You just have to be careful that you don't overstep the boundaries at this given point.
Absolutely. So guys, let's like this video, subscribe, because it's very, very interesting. This is a open, continuous situation. Although after some time the interest will kind of reduce, but we'll have to keep a track. And so please like, subscribe.
Yeah, it's a headache for you and me, Aadi. Now we have to track Pakistan and Bangladesh almost simultaneously and see what is happening very actively. So our work is cut out, no?
map
our work is cut out.
I mean, I was not very familiar with the ground geography, but मैं map पढ़ना शुरू हो गया हूँ जोर से. कौन सी river कहाँ से जाती है, ये all that. So that is something that
up your guard.
Yeah. And guys, one thing, as I've been saying it most importantly, that you must remember, whatever all this stuff that we are talking, we are probably talking more than what any official will come out and tell you. ठीक है, कोई नहीं बताएगा ये सब चीजें जो भी होती हैं, जो भी पीछे गेम्स होती हैं. Nobody talks about it. And what we are doing is also analysis of what we see. Maybe right, maybe
how we see it.
How we see it.
You could be wrong.
You could be wrong also.
What we
please don't think
what we
that
see, we are telling you.
Yeah, please don't think when you have nothing coming out from the government, don't think that there's nothing happening. A lot of stuff happens at the back end that we don't need to know. So let's put it like that.
Also, but what is the government going to tell you day to day? Government is not going to give you a cricket match commentary, no, for minute to minute event. What is going to happen? They never do that.
आज ना 25 बांग्लादेशियों को पकड़ के हमने 5 AK-47 दिए. Breaking news. I mean, can you imagine? Anyways, like, subscribe, guys. And of course, yes, you can contribute towards this channel. QR code, PayPal, super sticker, super chats, or if you can become members as well. Let's see. Please hit the likes. We've got 1900 people watching. Somebody just said that 1900 people watching, and uh 954, 957 have liked. Thoda jara, please be a little kind and do that. Atul ji and Bharat ke Banarsi Sahab, thank you for becoming members. Kapil ji, welcome back as a member. And okay, let's see. Sabse pehle Partha ji, once thank you so much. You say it's Chinese FDI linked with Bangladesh US base need. American CEOs go DEI and Tada, Harley Davidson to move all manufacturing from USA to Thailand and some to India also, by the way. That's Trump's dream. But yeah,
Harley
what do
is
you
already in India, yeah.
know?
Harley is
The
in partnership with the.
manufacturing also they want to increase in India now.
हाँ तो हीरो के साथ तो उनका है ही है दैट इज व्हाट द प्लान इज हार्ले डेविडसन यू विल सी न्यू मॉड्यूल्स कमिंग अप अभी तो वो
So
440 के साथ चल रहे हैं वी ऑलरेडी
what do you think?
हार्ले इज ऑलरेडी सेट अप इन इंडिया
What do you think? Would the US
हीरो इज
want
मैन्युफैक्चरिंग
Chinese FDI जो चीज पाकिस्तान में यूएस कर रहा है वो चाइना में भी करेगा?
चाइना में करेगा यार द प्रॉब्लम सी the US wants to be the only dominant force in the world. It wants to be the only superpower. And China is the only competing superpower which wants to be the only dominant superpower. So obviously it is going to happen. The point is, what are the Chinese going to do? Right now, the Chinese are very quiet, as usual. Because the Chinese don't have that kind of a relationship which the Chinese had with Pakistanis from day one. Right? They don't have that kind of relationship with the Bangladeshis as of now. But how is China going to build it up? Will they be able to build it up? They have already built some relationship with the Chinese, with the Bangladeshi military. But how strong that tie-up is going to be, it's a matter of debate for things to settle down and see which way Bangladesh is swinging. What I see is that the Bangladeshi journals would have learned from Pakistan and would not do the same mistakes. Right?
I hope.
So that is how it is going. That's what I'm hoping. But you never know, because at the end of the day, you never know. You never know how stupid one can turn out to be. Yeah, and how crazy one can turn out to be. That is absolutely right. So it depends. It's very very early to call something like this for now. For me, it's very very early to call. Let the dust settle for another 3-4 weeks. We'll be in a better position to know what the Chinese are up. Keep an eye on the Arakan. Keep an eye in Myanmar. You will get your signals from there, and if things go the way we are expecting things to go there, then yeah, the Chinese will be back in the game in that region for sure, creating headaches for Americans. Also, we have to see, will the Chinese be able to use Jamaat-e-Islami on the ground? Will the Chinese do a deal with them?
Chinese don't like these
And how will they
Islamists.
strike a deal with them?
उनको पसंद नहीं आते
They don't like the
Islamists.
Islamists, but
They don't.
they're dealing them. Yeah, they don't. But then who is going to deal with them for them is another matter of concern. So let's see what happens. What the Americans do and how the Chinese respond and how we respond. Because see, both are also looking equally for an opportunity for us to make a mistake, right? So that they can create trouble for India as well. Both are
Yeah.
looking for an opportunity. And we are also looking
Yeah.
for an opportunity to create trouble for both. So it's an open game. Game is open. Let it remain open for some time till the dust settles and we are able to see what's coming.
Yeah. That's there. Kafir Chris Saab, thank you so much for making 10 people members. Kudos and
Kafish
you
Chris, thank
deserve
you to you. Thank you. I wanted to say thanks to him, so thank you to you.
big shout out to Kafir Chris Saab. And once again, his comment says leaders might change, but ideology will remain, and especially so called Islamist ideology. Modern and liberal are for the time being. Someday the other will come.
No,
And
that is true,
that's
but that is what we are saying. The Pakistanis are working that. This is why I am saying it is going to be Pakistan 2.0, and it is not going to be a leftist, liberal kind of a place where everybody is going to live and the great American democracy is going to thrive. It is going to be a hellhole.
Mm.
The Americans just don't know what they're creating for themselves.
Lania Kia Super Cluster. Thank you so much. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Dirty dozens. Thank you. You say the hot borders will provide real life training grounds for the armed forces. The battle hardened army fighters are our real strength. Don't worry, we will handle it.
So we have no doubts that we can't handle them. We will handle them. But it's just that we have to strengthen our border because it's too porous at the same time.
Yeah.
So
Mayureshi,
never doubted the capability.
yeah, thank you. Bangla regime change formula replicated in India. They're trying to, but let me say this
They're
one thing
trying
very
their
clearly.
best.
It won't work.
See, they're trying their best. They've been trying to rake up this communal issues in India. They're trying to create a communal riot in India. They're trying a lot of things in India, right? They're attacking your economy. They're trying their best what they can do in India. But for now, we are holding on because we
Hmm.
understand the game. But I think somewhere I also see that the government let them go too far with the games they play. For example, this Heidenberg, I think they should be banned from India and they should not be allowed to trade on. No, they should not be allowed to trade in India. Simple. Khatam, bye bye, tata, jao. उसके बाद
हाँ,
देखते हैं हाइडेनबर्ग क्या रिपोर्ट करेगा.
I am
Why
ready.
can't you ban them? Ban them. Ban
Buddy,
करो उनको, खत्म करो
I
उनको,
have,
साफ करो.
no, okay. I'll give you the three things that I want you to do. Very simple. Hindenburg में, number one, declare George Soros persona non grata, sanction him. Sanction all organizations connected to him, every last bit of them. Third, tell Hindenburg you're banned. Don't ever come this way.
हाँ, just
And
ban them from trading in India.
anybody dealing with Hindenburg or any George Soros organizations from now on, you're in for trouble.
Yeah, you are in for trouble. You just ban them. Ban them from trading in India. That's it.
Create a
Finish them
national
off.
security act and do it. So
Yeah.
that's
This is how you play the hardball.
yeah.
This is how you do to protect yourself.
Once again, Mr. KK, Kafir Christie, thank you so much. You say Aadi and Raja Muneeb just floating an idea. What would have been the easiest way for Hasina for giving up some land without being bashed? Hmm.
The easiest way would have been she going to the Americans and sitting in their lap and saying that I'm your person there. Give them Saint Martin what they wanted. Play their game in Myanmar what they wanted. Needle India the way they wanted to needle India. So, and she would have survived. But then that comes at a very huge cost.
Yeah.
So that was the alternative we shouldn't take.
So this is a funny one. Shashi Prakash ji says, I suggest BJP should ask Sheikh Hasina to join BJP and she would be declared the next future CM of West Bengal ASAP. She'll defeat Begum Mamta Bano also.
Yeah, this joke was doing rounds on the internet for a long time.
Yeah.
It's a
Rajesh
nice
Agarwal
joke.
ji, the timing of the Hindenburg report is very successful. It has changed the whole narrative from Rahul's Bangladesh involvement in the present crisis and his connection with the Jamaat and CIA and others. They are trying to remove your attention from the atrocities happening on the Hindus there. ठीक है,
Yeah,
वो
I just hope.
Hmm.
And second thing, I hope the markets don't react to this report this time. Let Heidelberg lose
No.
money and then you ban.
I don't know. You know what I've seen? I don't know what's going to happen, but what I'm seeing online right now, and I don't understand that much of this, but people like me, I'm waiting. थोड़े बहुत इकट्ठे करके
Hmm.
रखे हैं. मैं कल घुसने वाला हूँ मार्केट के अंदर. जैसे ही नीचे भी आएगा तो हम खरीदेंगे तो वैसे ही ऊपर चले जाएगा वो. The more money gets
No, no, I
infused into
don't
the
think.
market, it'll
I
go up.
hope. I hope the market doesn't go down this time. They don't react to their report. The Heidelberg
Yeah,
will lose money.
yeah.
The
So
once they
people are
lose
trying
money, you
to
throw them out and you ban them after.
people
I
are
just
trying
hope the
to
market stays strong.
yeah, people are trying to double cross them now.
So I hope just the markets stay positive and Heidelberg is done and dusted with the money that
Yeah.
money they have put in. They can get done and dusted there.
Mohanji, I like lovely positive comment. He says the trio of Yunus, Sen, and Soros were the co- real culprits of
Connivers
this
of the
turmoil.
for the present.
Drivers of this
Yeah.
turmoil. A good try, but great chance for Bharat to play.
Yes, true. We have our own chances to play and we will have our own hand to reveal at the time. Now is the time to make sure that, whatever damage is happening in Bangladesh stays in Bangladesh, doesn't pour over to our province. It doesn't become another headache for us very soon. We have to be very, very careful.
True. Troll says, Raja sir, I see Bengal way of model happening in Bangladesh, not the Pakistan way of army governance, or it has become the East Pakistan finally.
What essentially are trying to say, the Pakistani way or the Bengal way with the East Pakistan, it
Bengal
is
way
an
is
East Pakistan. That is
basically
what we are
the
saying.
police sort of a state, or the worst part is, has it become the conjoined
It
state
is
of
a, it is a,
Pakistan again?
it will become a Pakistan 2.0. I'm telling you, it won't conjoin with the Pakistanis. That is not going to happen. It will just be a Pakistan 2.0 version. So imagine Pakistan dying and a new Pakistan getting born.
Mr. Batliwala says there is a possibility of any nuclear proliferation towards Bangladesh via Pakistan and China and USA.
No, no, not
Okay.
at all. Not at this stage, at least. No
You
way.
control you
Not
control the
happening.
oceans.
And the Americans are not going to make the same mistake again.
You control the ocean. So Venkatesh Murthy ji, you say from the way things are moving, I envisage Bangladesh breaking up into three pieces in next 12 months. Your thoughts?
No, I don't think they will break into three pieces in next 12 months. I think that is overlooking the situation. That won't happen. It will be a chaotic place. So it will take time for them to settle down and decide where they want to go. But it's not going to break up. Breakup is not happening. There are no signs of that.
Nikunj ji, thank you. You say who will own the island at the bottom of Bangladesh now? At the moment, Bangladesh only.
Bangladesh will hold on to it. Why do you think that bottom is going to be severed from Bangladesh? It won't be. It will stay there.
Yeah.
It will be there.
Tony Wayne. How long will Hindus keep running? Don't you think they should form a strong resistance while staying in Bangladesh instead of getting them out? That's what is happening at the moment.
That is what
These
is happening at the moment. But yeah, you have to be very, very careful to deal with the situation and look at many, many things. You don't want to arm them and then say, give them a chance to say that India is our oppressor and create the same narrative what the Pakistanis have created in their country, you know, and
yeah.
turn your whole population into an enemy. So you have to be very, very careful with what you do in Bangladesh. It's not that easy.
Varsha ji says Jamaat has imposed Jazia in Bangladesh. What are your thoughts? I see this in Op India.
No, I don't think they have. They don't have anything to impose jizya on in Bangladesh and anything. They don't have that right. But, the way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised in some areas they actually start doing that. With the
They've
locals, they
There
will
are
ask them
certain
if you want
buildings
to
in
keep. Yeah,
there's
right now the
certain
writing is happening. No, so
no
they
no no
must be saying कि तुमको बचाना है तो पैसा दे दो.
protection money is being asked for.
हाँ, प्रोटेक्शन मनी मांग रहे होंगे अभी, बट आगे जाके they will make it a regular thing कि from these colonies will start taking protection money.
Yeah. Batraji says with BSF given more power, we won't have 1972 type situation on the border. And if there are refugees, it'll be a trickle, mostly Hindus. He can and should handle it properly. Absolutely.
No, if there are Hindus, you let them come in, you set up their camps, you let them come in, you process their cases, and put them through. But you have to be very, very careful with who else is coming. The first 500, 600 we saw were not Hindus,
Yeah.
which wanted to cross over.
By the way, yeah, I want to say this. Thank you for mentioning this. This chap, they're 2-3 Twitter IDs, nationalists so called. They're complete idiots. One of them I have actually written, oh, the Waqf board owns 9 lakh square kilometers of area. It's not 9 lakh square kilometers, it is 9 lakh square acres. ठीक है? तो वो उसका कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक है। दूसरा वाला कह रहा है लुक देयर आर थाउजेंड्स ऑफ हिंदूज ऑन द बॉर्डर बीएसएफ इज पुशिंग देम बैक। मैंने उसको रीट्वीट करके लिखा, मैंने बोला तू क्या आईडी चेक करके आया है सबकी भाई? यू आर सिटिंग इन
There
सम
are a lot of
फ्रिकिंग
fools.
तुम पागल हो गए हो
There
यार,
are a
तुम
lot of
किसी को
fools.
भी ऐसे आई मीन लेट्स नॉट बी ओवर ड्रामेटिक अबाउट थिंग्स
See, the
नाउ।
problem with no, no. The problem with Twitter is there are a lot of accounts who want to be nationalistic, who are blue ticks, who are basically monetized accounts. Their whole idea of generating revenue is through outrage. The more outrage you create, the more engagements you get, the more money you make. They don't give two hoots about the reality or the country or the interest of the country. The only hoot they give is how much money are they going to make with a particular post put on Twitter and how much engagement to go. And this is where Twitter is going extremely wrong with its monetization policy. Twitter has to be very, very careful because that is why we're seeing a lot of outrage on Twitter. Either we're seeing a lot of porn on Twitter, we're seeing a lot of It's becoming a new Instagram for me, or those woke videos you see on Twitter, or you see them complete outrage happening on Twitter.
I to
And
block
people
any kachra, block.
I'm seeing sane people falling for the propaganda these people create.
Yeah,
You have to be very, very careful on Twitter.
yeah. Dr. MPC, what happened to your right hand? I was injured some time ago. It's better. Oh, the Jaipur Dialogues podcast. वो थोड़ा पुराना shooting है यार. Okay, okay. They put out one of my
So you
podcasts
must
in
be
the
wearing
the glove. अभी
the
भी
glove.
पहनता हूँ, but I don't wear it all the time. I still wear the glove. It's not fully okay. Uh, Anti Saab, you say, well, US peacekeeping force will be deployed in Bangladesh. Seeing the situation, will Indian Army also be a participant? I don't think we'll go
No,
to
the
that.
UN. No, I don't think the Americans will go to that extent. Or America, if the Americans have to go to an extent of getting peacekeeping force out there, that means the Americans have lost Bangladesh.
True. Ninad Saab,
So I
last
don't
two,
see that
three
happening.
questions. Can India think of a naval blockade on them to pressurize them to ensure minority safety?
See, it's going to be very difficult. You make any military, standover, you will have repercussions coming from China as well as from US, right? Unless and until your Uncle Sam's best friend, you've gone and declared your allegiance to US and say that you are my only, ally, and I'm wholly happy to join you, then obviously you can do whatever you want. But given the
Hmm.
state of our foreign policy and the way we are, nudging ahead with our own geopolitical interests, it's not going to be easy to just create a naval blockade and shut them off,
Yeah.
because the response will come both from the Chinese as well as from the Americans. So you have to be very, very careful. That is why I said, you don't overplay any of your hand. A slight overplay is going to create issues. You have to be very careful.
Yeah. And last one, Europe can deport. What is stopping India to deport these radical illegal immigrants in India? Is India waiting for a signal?
I have been I've been asking for this particular thing for a year and a half. I don't know, buddy. I really don't know why we are not able to.
And I
I'm
don't know. I
clueless,
mean,
as clueless as you are.
apart from that, I also believe one thing. If they start even throwing them back, they're not going to announce it. We will create a whole tamasha. They'll let somebody break it and make an expose out of it. वो अलग है. कोई announce नहीं करेगा कि अब वापस आ रहे हैं.
नहीं अनाउंस करने की जरूरत भी नहीं है. You don't have to make a spontaneous show out of it, but at least you start taking the right steps.
Yeah, you need to.
We are not
There's no
asking you to put your information out there. As long as you take the right step, we don't care. You declare it or you don't.
absolutely. You know, that's one thing which is there because this we need to kind of figure out the policy, stick with it, and move forward in a concise manner. Rajaji,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for joining us tonight and great conversation as always. See you next time, sir.
Thank you,
Jai
sir.
Hind.
My pleasure. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat. Thank you.